Okay guys, I'm here today with Michael Heinz, huge honor for me. And guys, Michael has a school in Texas at
New Braunfels.
New Braunfels. And he developed a system for takedowns that he calls like very good man, like the takedown for the rest of us. Me like takedowns for those who doesn't do judo and doesn't do wrestling. And we're pitching him here to make an instructional video on it. And today he's gonna show us a little bit of the system that he developed. And I hope you guys enjoy it.
So yeah, just starting off, it's a little bit on the background. Didn't wrestle, didn't do judo. Kind of started jiu-jitsu a little later in life, early 30s, and but I really wanted to be able to take people down. That was like part of it, and just not much of an athlete, and so started coming to thinking about, in my mind, how could I make it more like jiu-jitsu, basically, like how could I utilize kind of pressure and connection and things like that, and create positions out of the standing realm, basically, like, because what I felt was like when someone would teach you to take down, and no disrespect to the previous teachers that I had or something, but it's kind of like, you're just gonna shoot, or I come out, I just do this, and boom, and I throw him. And I think that's really hard for like someone late stage starting jiu-jitsu. Like, that takes a certain amount of athleticism to just cross the gap, boom, and go. It's hard stuff. So I really was kind of always trying to think of like, how could I be a lot lazier and kind of understand how to make it go easier for me. And I'll basically, before I even get, I have like 5 points that if you can kind of just follow these 5 points, of course you've got to learn a little more within each, but you know, you should do pretty well. That being said, here's my disclaimer right at the starting point. If you take on a D1 wrestler, you came out in the white belt division and like you're like boom, boom, and he's a D1 wrestler, you kind of have to accept that he deserves to take you down, okay? Like, he spent 20 years working on it, and if you're hoping that like a couple of weeks of prep is gonna undo 20 years of training, it's a little delusional, okay? Number two, if you come out against the white belt division, you go whoop, whoop, and he sits on his butt right away.
There's no way to apply takedown.
There's no way to apply this, and you're just gonna have to get good at passing guard, or opening and passing guard. These are just what the things you have to do. Now, situation number 3 is he's an actual white belt like you, and now you're gonna have to grapple for a little bit. What is gonna be very hard is just to shoot and go. That's really hard stuff. So I developed kind of like a 5-point system. We start with structure, just the actual structure of my body, like, and just realizing I feel that a lot of what I see when I'm coaching at like a white belt tournament in particular, I can kind of just look at 2 guys and have a pretty good sense of who's likely to win the takedown, okay? And it's as simple as like, bend your knees, make my back look straight, okay? Once I've done that, if he's just going to lift me, and I'm kind of lazy with my knees and I'm lazy with my back, we're not as strong anyway, they're just gonna pick me up. Like, it's not gonna be hard. Just a little bend in the knees, just a little tilt to your spine. Already, it's harder for him to get to that inside space. He's gotta reach more, he's gotta do more, okay? And here's the bad news on the system, is just, the first thing I have guys do is, when you're not at the gym, get in this position and move around for a while. Set a timer. Every day, try to make it a little longer. Look, if you've got a day job and you can get up to just 5 minutes of maintaining good position, that's pretty good. Because mostly what you're gonna see is as people go, pretty soon they start standing up. And like, the more I'm standing up, the easier it is for him to do everything he wants to do. But also, the more I get in good position, the more I'm gonna be able to create good connection, which is gonna be very important to what we do. Matt Thornton has a great kind of formula for all of grappling. Structure, connection, and finally, timing, okay? Structure is me, like having a good thing. My connection, when I start to make contact, there's gonna be various ways that I make contact. And then finally, it's the timing. I gotta do the right thing at the right time. That's just inevitable. Now, when I'm coming out against you're coming out against your white belt opponent, we're getting into point number 2 now. Point number 1 is make sure I'm coming out and not foolishly in some bad structure. Now, point number 2 is we're gonna start looking for our easy wins, okay? The easiest win that you should be looking for right away is he gonna give me an opportunity to start to have an angle on him. And that's going to really take two basic forms, but the main thing I'm looking for is to find a way past an elbow, okay? That could be actually as simple as me coming in here like this, and that could be our arm drags that we're coming across, but I need to get around that elbow. When I get to something like this, it's actually pretty hard for him to figure out a good takedown at this point. Like, he is not, like, if you go here, we'll talk about when I go across, we're in a 50-50 position, and we're gonna figure out how to make it not a 50-50 position. But if I can get out, I'm good. But I'm gonna go back to point one and think a little bit about our connection. Right now I came to Bernardo, and there is no pressure to you whatsoever, correct?
Yeah.
What I have to learn to do, there's two basic connection points I like, but I think the favored one for me is to always make you carry my weight a little bit. So we're getting in here, and my knees start to get light. And you feel the weight coming onto you right away.
Yep.
So whenever I'm connecting to him, and there's a lot of different connections, but I want to be thinking like I'm almost using him to go up to the ceiling, okay? Do not do that. You see how my knees are like all locked out? And I'm actually maybe heavier.
Yeah.
But I gotta keep my knees under my shoulders for the most part. So the body's gotta move with me when I start to get heavy. If we look at defensive stuff, it's gonna be the same thing. Like if he grabs me, I make it heavy for him. Not an easy thing to carry, right? So I don't wanna ever just be touching him or just pushing him, because now he moves very easily. But once I'm here, his movement gets a little more constrained by the fact that he has to carry my weight, all right? Most of what we're going to do, getting to this outside elbow, as our first kind of thinking about this, is we want to go to an arm drag. When I get here, we are in an identical position. He's got what I got, essentially. All he has to do is cup, and he's got what I got. And we try to take each other's backs. We run around as magnetic dogs all day. So we don't want to do the same thing. Like when we get to here, I've got two solutions to this, but for this video, I'm going to look at just one. I'm going to do a little swivel. So you see like I'm on the balls of my feet, then I turn up. And I'm looking for the iliac crest right here on the heel. Now, if we run, we both have equal opportunity. I think Bernardo's probably faster than me, okay?
Yep.
If Bernardo goes to run and I swivel, I beat him. You want to think about getting your head facing the same direction as him. Does that make sense? Because now I'm in a position, I could potentially be going to his back, we can keep the arm, not keep the arm, there's lots of possibilities. We have to learn what to do from here, but do you feel like you have the majority of your takedowns from this position?
No, we have a big advantage.
I have the advantage. Like, there's going to be guys that will surprise you with something, they deserve to surprise you. Okay, that means they worked on something good. But you have a lot of takedowns right here. And if I just come out and I want to match up with you right here, I'm giving you an equal opportunity. If I can come and start to get back here, the opportunity is mine to score, okay? Now, that's point number two. Can I take the flank, okay? And mostly, we're looking for that elbow. If I can get outside that elbow, I have a pretty good chance of getting to flanks. Just to explore this a little bit, to understand that there's actually a lot of depth to this, is like, if I come out in here, very naturally, as you're turning, he's likely to move his hip away. We start to get a light leg that we can free up and take right there. You do that to people a few times, and what will very commonly happen is like, I wanted this, but his hip moves. I wanted the leg, so he moves the leg back. We're starting to come down.
Yeah.
That. So, and some people call it like an ukiwaza or whatever, like, but I'm hunting for his foot, and I'm just looking at everything he removes. It sets me up for something else. And that's something that you have to drill and get kind of used to, is like, I want to take the back. My hand went in one motion. It missed the back, it went to the leg. It misses the leg, my foot comes out, I'm dragging down. Worst case scenario in this whole thing is we end up with something like this. It's not that bad. I'm in guard, not that bad, okay? If it's wrestling or it's judo, maybe not that good. But jiu-jitsu is different, and we have to train for our sport.
Mike, so to summarize everything.
Yes.
So number one, keep a good posture.
Good posture.
Number two, find your way to go behind his elbow.
Right.
Either this or the arm drag.
Yes.
And then probably like number three, put weight on top of him without losing the posture.
I just kind of consider that a number one, though. Yeah. Good.
So put weight on top of
Yeah.
And then number 4 and 5 would be like the attacks itself. Like you either try to
So
finish
to me, like, that's all still in number 2 to like, we're here, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Okay? And then just to highlight that there's depth within each direction that we go. So when we go to point 2, that could go on quite a bit, understanding where we go with it. Now, point 3 is when it's hard to get on the outside. And I think this is just, again, easy wins. A lot of people, I mean, I'm sure you see it in your school all the time, your students coming out, and they look down.
Yeah.
And you hate it, right? Because what am I going to do? And that's what I'm looking, yes, and that's all I'm looking for, just easy wins. I come out against Bernardo, and I know Bernardo would not look down. He looks down at my feet, and we're snapping.
Yeah.
And when we're snapping, we're looking to make contact, not pull. We actually got to kind of give him a smack. We only need to move his head a few inches. Now we want to get our chest on the back of his head. So if I see him look down for a second, boom, we go here. I'm in, and there's, again, like the arm drag and getting out to the side, there's a lot of depth to what we can do from here. But the bigger principle is just, do you feel like you're in a good position to do your takedowns?
Not really. Because
No,
especially because there's stuff in my head.
Right.
If my head was sideways, maybe.
Yes, as his head gets sideways, so I'm like, I'm coming in, I'm sitting in an invisible chair making this hard for him. And then we gotta learn our transitions from there, and where do we go, and how do we attack, and maybe we choke or something. Now, point number 4, come out against this guy. I want those angles, he's not gonna give it to me. I want his head, he's not gonna give it to me. Now we start looking for the inside space.
Right.
To me, one of the big mistakes is everybody looks for the inside space right away. I'd rather go around you, I'd rather bring you down. It's easier, it's just less work for me. But now I feel that I've got an opportunity for inside space. And what I think is the key adjustment for a beginner that's gonna make the biggest difference is, I don't look for inside space with my hands separated from my body. I consider my head a pivotal point of me seeking that inside space. So sorry, just turning to the camera. Like, I want to use my head and try to get his head a little bit offline. Now you're gonna be able to start developing your game of a lot of different things. But I don't want him, if I even have the underhook, but he has that head on that inside, this is not a really effective tie at this point. I don't have much. He has an overhook that's way more effective in my mind. Like, but if I can have this, it's like, I can push him, I can move him, and I can start to get to some effective offense. The final point number 5 is, you didn't get to the outside. You couldn't get the snap. You went to go inside. Bernardo's a 10-time world champion. He gets inside space on you, so he's starting to get in. Yes, good. What am I doing when he's starting to control the inside space? I want to be heavy and on top of him. So his hands are coming in for those underhooks. Good, go in, and underhooks. Good, tight. I'm just going to be heavy on him, okay? I want to make it hard for him to get started. And there's a variety of things that might happen. Maybe he gets a collar tie. You don't know what to do. There's better things than this, but you don't know what to do. I want to be heavy on him. I want to make it hard for him. He gets a deep underhook. How do I get heavy on that? Like, whatever he's trying to attach with, there are better, more specific responses, but when you're in doubt and you feel like he's eating up that inside space on you, how can I get on top of those connections and be heavy, okay? So that I have time to think about maybe getting better solutions and getting out, repummeling, getting into better things. So that's kind of like my 5 principles. Like, I gotta have good connection so that every time I make connection, I'm heavy, I'm tight, I'm not easy to throw. If the outside is there, I want to go to the outside. If I can bring him down, I want to bring him down. When I go inside with my head. Hands are not reaching away from me and like I'm disconnected to him. I have my extra limb that I'm going to use. And then lastly is whenever things start feeling like they're failing, he's getting that inside space. How can I get on top of him? How can I make him have to carry me a little bit to give me space and time to think about how I might move to something better? Yeah.
No, I love it because it's everything made for those who never done wrestling or judo.
Right.
It's like almost like finding a path for those who doesn't have that background. So
Right.
It's pretty interesting.
And I feel like you can take it as like a good starting point, and then you can
develop around.
Yeah, all the different takedowns you can plug them in somewhere. Like it's plug and play at that point. Like, but you know, if you don't have like these basic kind of like a basic formula for thinking about the structure of what's going to happen, then you're probably just going out raw and trying to, I'm just going to shoot a single leg. It's hard, but like for many of these positions, like from here when I have the inside space, the single leg's not so hard. Like it's not hard for me to get to that leg and take it off the ground. It would be, I wouldn't even think to try to shoot it on the ground. Like it's too big. It's like, that just seems like, I don't like to shoot from the outside, especially these like way bigger than me. I get sprawled on and smashed. I want to make connection, improve the position, look for my attacks when I feel like he's at a disadvantage.
Okay.
No, great system. And guys, Mike is here. He's one of the guests in the BGFX retreat that we're running here in the Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. So I hope to see one of you guys in the next one. And if you're in the Texas area, make sure to visit this school. It is between Austin and
San Antonio.
Name of the city again?
New Braunfels.
There you go. And this school is the SPG New Brunswick.
SPG New Braunfels.
New Braunfels.
Yeah.
Not New Brunswick, New Braunfels.
That's all good.
And thanks for being here.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Bernardo.
it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.